Let's talk about some real shit. We live in a world where people judge you off your exterior and the minute that you open your mouth. So I say all that to say this. Coming from me, born and raised in Bronx, New York. Born and raised. Being born and raised in the Bronx is a different culture in itself. People judge you off of your aggressiveness, off of your bluntness and your realness, not knowing, not understanding the culture that you are raised in when it comes to being a New York youngin', being born in that type of environment. And what I mean by environment is, at a very young age, you're taught to protect yourself. You're taught to look to your left, to your right, because you never know who's coming down the block. At a young age, sometimes you're forced to take public transportation, whether it be the bus or the train station. And there's things that you see on the train station you can't even put into words. And as a youngin' growing up in that and seeing that, you don't know how to filter any of that out. So you become this ball of hardness. I gotta look to the left. I gotta protect myself. The peer pressures of looking good on the exterior. If not, you get fucked with. So you gotta have all the designer shit on. You're raised in an environment where you're not safe. You have grown folks doing grown folks things in front of youngins. And this is not just my experience. When I tell you, you talk to fellow New Yorkers, they will tell you the same thing. It's hard on these New York streets. So when you come out of that environment and you just built this wall up, and I'm not even talking about personal, other traumatic experiences. I'm just talking about being raised in a New York culture where you gotta watch your back. You gotta be tough. And if not, you gotta fight this one and that one, because if not, you'll get bullied. There's so much that comes with being a youngin' and growing up in that type of culture. So when you come out of that culture and you are who you are, you get judged for it. People talk shit about you. Oh no, she got an attitude. Oh no, they angry. Ooh, those angry New Yorkers, not sitting down saying, damn, why a lot of New Yorkers are like this? Because a lot of us, we see the same disturbing shit every day and nobody talks about it. And it affects your mental health, and it affects your trust issues growing up, and it affects everything in a negative light, to where you're just, you walk around with this body armor, and sometimes you're like, why am I like this? But from me to you, it's rough in those New York streets. So for the people that see this, be a little bit more gentler when you hear a New Yorker speak. We done been through some shit.